Hello everyone, this is the Monday, December 3rd sales update. Had some pretty good sales, a lot of video game stuff as you can see. Crazy weekend last weekend. Today wasn't as crazy, but still thankful for the sales we do have. Happy stuff's moving for fourth quarter. So we'll jump right in here with the video game stuff first. A Wii console, 35 shipped. I paid 25 for a system with controllers, all the stuff and some games from the guy I buy from. On the Wii's, I usually do okay as long as it comes with Wii Motion Plus controllers. If it doesn't, I usually don't buy them. And I'm not sure if I prefer parting the system out like this or selling it with cords and everything. Because I got 35 shipped for this. I think I get like 43 shipped for a Wii with a controller and cords. So probably still better to part it out. You probably make more money in the long run. Either way, a bunch of video games sold. Polar Express, $7.99, the lowest I really want to sell a video game for. And usually if I'm going to sell for that low, I want it to sell quick. And chances are I didn't pay for it by itself. It just came in a lot of stuff. Sonic Rider Zero Gravity, that's 10. Wii Sports is I think 12 or 13. Shadow Hearts sold for 40. It's a pretty good game. Blade 2 sold for 13. Pretty good game. Sells pretty frequently for decent amount of money. And a 3DS game, Donkey Kong Country, or Donkey Kong Country Returns, I think is what it is. We don't got time for that. 15 bucks for that. Video games, I really want to minimum be at about 10. I will go down to 8, like I said, if it'll sell. That one I had listed at 10, Polar Express. Then I listed at 9, and then it finally sold at 8. So that's one I probably won't pick up again, or at least not list it by itself. So here's a Snap-on hammer. Sold one over the weekend for 60. This one is not as good. See, hopefully it's a Snap-on right there. This one sold for best offer of 40 shipped. So pretty happy with that. Paid $1. Here's the Oklahoma State pullover. Not zippered or anything, just a straight pullover. You can see there, it's all bagged up. It's got like a liner in there too. I think I paid 5 or 6 for that. That sold for 25 shipped. Happy with that. And lastly, a Dyson. This is the DC34, I believe. Yeah. It's like a little handheld vacuum. Didn't come with the charger. I think I paid 7 or 8 bucks for it at a garage sale. Maybe 10 even, I don't know. We had a charger, tested it out, didn't work. It powered up for a little bit and worked, and then it just wouldn't charge anymore and won't do anything. So I sold it for parts for 50 bucks. It came with the one attachment. I gotta clean out the little drum there a little better, but 50 shipped, so we're happy with that. We definitely made some money. And that's everything so far. I have one other sale for 20 bucks that I just took an offer on, but he hasn't paid yet, so I might add it to the end. If not, he'll pay tomorrow. And then I'm still waiting on 2 clothing items to be paid, so we'll see what happens with them. Hope you guys enjoy. Hey everyone, here are the final sales from Monday. 2 things sold. The guy didn't pay till today for the other thing, so I'll show it to you for later, the other video that comes out for Tuesday. An iPhone box sold. This is the iPhone XR, I believe, black, 64 gig. That sold for 14 shipped, just the box. Paid $1. And then an Xbox original with the controller, all the cables, no games or anything like that. That sold for 65 shipped. Hey everyone, back with sales for Tuesday. Another really awesome day here. Sold quite a bit of stuff. Only one clothing item, so we'll start with that, I guess. A Dragonfly. Talked about this brand before. It's like an American flag, almost USA themed one with some flames as well, I think it is. There's the brand, kind of hard to see, but Dragonfly. Paid like 6 bucks for that. Sold for 25. In the future, I'll pick them up probably if they're 5 or less. Preferably like 3 or 4 if it's a cool pattern and a good size. They will sell eventually, it just takes time. But nothing to run out there and just spend all your money on because they are slow. A lot of other stuff sold, a ton of video games, but something sold they've had up for a while. These Joyce Meyer, I think they're called Synergy. Yeah, little kind of like self-help type stuff. I mentioned her name, Joyce Meyer stuff does well. All those came out of a big lot that I bought, I think for 50 bucks. And I already made a ton of money on it. This is like the last bit of stuff I had. I just sold some DVDs for her for 25, and then these finally sold for 25 shipped. So happy to get rid of them. Here's a rigid drill charger, a battery charger for a drill. This came out of a lot that I bought from the storage unit guy. That sold for 35 shipped. I don't have the battery for it, so people ask how I test these. I just plug them in and see if the power comes on, and then I say it appears functional. Technically, if I ever got a return on one, I've only got one return on one before they say it didn't work. I just refund the person and just eat the loss. But I've sold probably, I don't know, 20 by now, and I've had no issues, only aside from that one. So plug them in, make sure the power comes on. If you do have the battery, obviously put it in there and see if it starts charging. So video game stuff, Terraria, 360 game, came out of a lot that I bought. Nothing special, but sold for 10 shipped. Not a video game, but this is an iPhone 7 Plus 32 gig rose gold box. Paid $1. It sold for 10 shipped. You guys know I sell these. I have someone who gets them to me all the time, and as long as they're 7 and beyond, like 7, 8X ones now, I will take those ones and sell them. I don't buy the 6s or anything else anymore. They don't seem to sell as well. So some other video game stuff. PS2 Slim, a little bit faded here. You can kind of, not a little bit, kind of a lot. Put that in the listing, but it works well. The Slim sells better than the fat PS2. That one sold for 61 shipped, so happy to get rid of that. It comes with one controller and the cables, no memory card, no games. People ask why I don't put games in there, just if you're curious. Most times, unless it's a really cool game, like, I don't know, on PS2 what that would even be, maybe Grand Theft Auto or something. Most of the times, if you throw a junky game in there, the person doesn't even want it anyways. So I just lot all my junky games into one big lot and sell them that way, instead of putting them with the PS2. So I think you're going to get just the same if you throw a junky game in here or if you don't. Like I said, if it's like a Grand Theft Auto, maybe someone would be looking just for that game and they'd pay up for it. If you have a Nintendo and you put Mario with it, you know, they'll probably pay more because that's a game that's desirable. But if you're going to put, like, I don't know, Dynasty Warriors or Finding Nemo or something like that, it's probably not going to add any value to the system. Gunsmoke, I think this sold for like 13 or 14 shipped. And then really rare, fairly rare game, Conker's Bad Fur Day. On N64, remember that name. It also is on the Xbox, called Conker Live and Reloaded. The Xbox one not worth as much, but this one sold for 70 shipped. Came out of a $25 N64 lot. And I also sold Zelda Ocarina of Time. That sold for like 23 or 24 shipped. So same person bought both of those, so I'm guessing they're maybe trying to build up an N64 collection. So that was cool. I'll save on shipping too. A couple other things. This is a cooling fan for a Drake, part of that ham radio stuff I bought. That sold. It's got damage on the wiring there, but I sold it for 20 shipped. I had it listed at 40 or best offer. Someone came through and said 20 and said, you know, they don't want to offer more because it doesn't work. I can't confirm it. So when I plug it in, it won't turn on or anything, and there's wiring issues. So I figured 20 was fair. We'll get rid of it for that price. Some photo paper. I only like to sell it usually if I have a bunch of it, but I listed this one by itself because all I had. Paid $1 for it at a garage sale, and it sold for 16 shipped. It's so heavy though, it'll probably go into padded flat rate. Honda service manual. I think I paid $1 or $2 for this. This ended up selling for 35 shipped on the best offer with the damage, so that's pretty good. A Hamilton Beach old food processor lid. This unit, I think the blade sold already for like 20 bucks, but it took forever for something else to sell, and the lid finally sold for 20 shipped. It'll cost probably 8 to ship it, so we may only make like 8 bucks on that one, but already made all the money on the blade anyway, so pretty cool. Last two things. I've seen a couple people mention this book. I think Thrift School, if you watch him, he's a really great channel. And Valet Picker also mentioned in one of his videos recently about Harry Potter books. I always try to lot them together. They do so well if you can get the whole set. This set had some cosmetic damage to some of the dust jackets, so I sold it for 58 shipped. I usually am only paying $1 or $2 for the books until I get the whole set. I have another set listed, I think, for like 65. Sometimes I used to get like 70 all day, but it's kind of been a little slow. Also, if you do find just the Sorcerer's Stone book, a lot of times I could sell this by itself for like 20 or 25. So if you didn't find them all but found, or just want to look for that book, if it's like an American first edition, or if it's the real first edition, even more. But if it's the American first edition, you can usually get 20, 25 shipped for it. So definitely worth looking out for. A lot of times Amazon sellers will skip on the Harry Potters anyways because individually they're not worth a ton, but the whole set still sells. And then lastly, here's a Telex Copiette. It's a little system I got from my father-in-law, actually. He had 2 of these. Of course, I can't open it with one hand. Sorry about that. It's used to copy cassettes, or that, you know, little cassettes. Has two little sides to it, and you can plug it in, and I guess it copies what's on there. I think. I didn't really understand too well, but he was going to throw them away. I took two of them. They just take a little standard power cord like your computer, old desktop computer would use. Nothing else is really needed. They both do power up and seem to function well. He said they worked fine. The first one I sold for $60, probably about 6 to 8 months ago. Forgot to list this one. Then we moved, and while I was moving, I remembered I had it, so I listed this one. And then I just wouldn't sell, so I kept lowering the price, and today it sold for like $48 shipped. So it's pretty heavy. It'll probably end up costing me like $15 to $20 to ship it, but it was free, and I'm happy to get rid of something this big out of the storage. So that is it. I think I have no pending purchases right now, so everybody's paid and we're caught up there. So if anything else sells, we have about 30 minutes left before the end of the day. I'll let you know. If not, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Hey everyone, back with Wednesday's sales update. Had some pretty good sales today. A lot of video game stuff, as you can see, and some other stuff as well. I'm definitely happy with how things are going with fourth quarter. Hopefully it'll keep up and have another good rest of the weekend into a good weekend. The big item is the JanSport Big Bear 82 bag. You can see, hopefully there's some stains there. This thing is not in perfect shape. I listed it like that. I paid $5 for it in a bundle deal that I got. All the zippers are working good. Everything seems okay. The frame of the backpack is good. It's like a nice hiking bag. I took a best offer of $55 on this. I paid $5 again. It's probably going to end up costing $18 to $20 to ship it, just based on size. It's super light, but size-wise it probably will. I found a nice box for it to put it in that I had saved from another thing. So hopefully it'll work out well. The person was a newer eBay line, a couple feedback. I did make it clear throughout the listing, and I showed the stains. Hopefully they read that and saw the pictures and are cool with it. I mean, if you're just looking for a good hiking bag, this one's perfect, if you don't mind the cosmetic. But $5 and $55, pretty happy with that. Here's a yearbook from my area. It's Tockwitz. It's a high school. This one's from 48. Paid a couple bucks for some yearbooks from this school, like 46, 48, 49 or something. I took a best offer of $24 on this one today. It's kind of beat up, but on the yearbooks, when I buy them, I'm really looking to get like around the $25. If I can get more than that, that's awesome, but it's hard sometimes to find a buyer for them. So if someone comes through with a reasonable offer around that 25 mark and I only paid $5 or less, I'll probably take it just to get it out of here, because you could sit on them forever. Some people will, and they'll hold out for them. They'll get $50 or whatever, but sometimes I just don't want to hold on to things for that long. So happy with that. Paid, I think, $2. Got rid of it for $24. This is a Franklin Merriam, like dictionary, but it's like Spanish to English and everything. This thing is super cool. I picked it up for, I want to say $1. I had heard from another reseller that these actually do sell. I thought they never really sold well, but they do. I know the Franklin Bible ones sell well, but I didn't know the Spanish ones did as well as they did. I sold this. It needed a new battery. I think it was 50 cents or something for the battery that it takes, and this sold for $23 shipped. So super cool. Paid $1. The last of my Snap-on hammers sold for $55 on a best offer. You can kind of hopefully see maybe there. Snap-on, there we go. Sold the first one for $60, sold the second one for $40, and then this one for $55. So it's $155 in little tool sales. I paid $1 each, so that was awesome. Look out for those Snap-on body hammers. Here's a Cutco. Not the best one. You'll find these forks sometimes. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, but you can kind of see it there, Cutco. I pick them up if they're $1 or less. This one sold for $11 shipped. I've had it for a long time. Some of them do better than others, but look out for the brand Cutco, the knives with these nice fancy handles. If you find a couple of them, you'll start to notice what Cutco handles look like, and just by the handle you should be able to tell if it's a Cutco. So those are awesome. Here's a Tornado. I guess it's a file transfer thing. I paid like 50 cents or $1 for this at a big bundle thing that I had bought, just because it was brand new. I sold it for $20 shipped. So happy about that. It should still go first class if I bubble wrap it and put it in a poly mailer. So Then the video games, 2 PS2 games, I sold them together. NFL Street 2 and I think the first one. Yeah, there's a third one too as well. I sold these for $25 shipped. So sometimes if you find games in the same series and bundle them, they do well. These are one of the few sports type games that actually you seem to make any money on. Most of them are no good. Then the 64 stuff, Glover sold for $13, Doom for $25, GoldenEye for $24, Banjo for $21, and Mario Kart for $35. So Mario Kart and Banjo were listed yesterday, so they sold pretty quick. These other ones I had listed a little bit on the high end, but I knew fourth quarter was coming, so I kind of listed them a little higher, and they've sat for about a month or so, and then finally sold within the second month. So if you're approaching that fourth quarter on the video game stuff, if you've watched my videos lately, you'll see a lot of video game stuff moving for pretty good prices. So that's usually what I do as I head into that time of the year. I'll usually list things on the top end if I can, try to maximize the money. And then if, fourth quarter ends and stuff still there, I'll start dropping the prices throughout the year, try to move some of it and get some money off it. So that's it for now. If anything else sells, I will let you guys know, and hopefully Thursday brings some more. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. This is Thursday sales, literally the best day I think I've ever had. It's at like $940 for everything. There's even more that's not here yet that you can't see. So I'll have another part to this, and then even another part when tomorrow morning I go back to the storage unit to grab some stuff. So I also brought my tablet just because some people have criticized me and said that stuff isn't legit. I'm not selling stuff. So as you can see here, I'm not going to take too long, but these are all the sales from today, all the way down to, there's the big boys right there, 275, 240. So if you don't believe me, that's fine, but there's proof right there. I'm sorry about the mess on the floor. This room is just chaos right now with all the stuff I've got going on. I've just got so much inventory from different sources trying to get it up before Christmas. So it's chaos. It's starting to look a little better. I worked on it today, and hopefully I'll work on it this weekend, and it'll look better. So first thing, these actually sold yesterday, or no, early this morning, for $240. These are Panasonic KX HTV 230 phones. There's 4 of them in here. They look like they weren't really used. All the scuffs seem to just be from, they were in one huge box together. There's the 4 power cord boxes, and they're all in plastic. So I don't think these were ever used. I went to a huge storage unit sale. This lady sells every week. Her husband buys storage units. Didn't find anything there, but she said her neighbor was having a sale, and I walked down to his house. They do like evening sales, like at 3 o'clock till like 7. It was like 7 o'clock. I rode, and it was super dark. Went to the sale, and I found a box of these. There's like 12 of these Panasonic ones, and a couple other Panasonic ones that are older. I paid $50 for everything. So these sold for $240 shipped. I'm going to relist a new listing with 4 more. I'm also going to message the guy and ask him if he does want any more to let me know. And I'll maybe sell him the rest. So $240 out of the $50 investment. They are going to be in this big box here. Big Office Depot box. So it'll probably cost a good $30 to $40 to ship them. But I'm still making money just on this one sale, and there's more to come. These are some Value Tails. I'll show you the front if you don't know. Value Tail by Spencer Johnson. They have different size ones. As you can see actually with this lot here, a couple of them are the small variety. This was kind of a mix lot that I got. I kind of threw it together. I got $45 for all these. Look out for these though, these Value Tails. If you have like 30 or 40, you might get $200 shipped for them. So pretty good, happy with 45 though. I think I paid like 15 or something for all those, so pretty good. Some clothing items, and there are more clothing items to come. They're the things that are in storage. Here's a Robert Graham. They still sell. This one's actually pretty plain. It's like a brown one. It's got some like embroidery on it, but it's not real colorful. So I picked it up for $1 or $2 at a thrift store on half off day, and then that sold for $35 shipped. Here's pretty cool. It's a character hero. I think this is an Urban Outfitters brand, if I'm not mistaken. It's a like a little gnome sweater. It's brand new. I paid $6.49 for it, and it sold today for a $55 offer. I've probably had this almost a year, so super happy to get rid of that. Some video games, Final Fantasy, what is that, 9, sold for $15. Age of Empires 3. This game always sells for me. It just takes a little while, but it always does sell. I paid $1 for it. It sold for $10 shipped. 3 Onimusha PS2 games. You can see them right here. One of them's missing the manual, but I sold those for like $29 shipped or something like that. Sorry. Here is a noise suppressor. This goes to like a CB radio. I bought a couple of scanner, not radio. It's like a scanner, radio scanner or whatever. But it's by, what brand was it? I think Realistic or something. I bought a couple of them, but they had all these parts that went with them for CBs and stuff. So I made them throw those in the deal and I only paid $5 extra. I sold two of these so far. This one went for 25 shipped, so pretty cool there. And then some really cool shoes. Shout out to what's their name? Now I can't even think of it. Rally Roots, sorry. They talked about Reebok, the CrossFit shoes. I finally found a pair in actually pretty good shape if you look at them. I don't remember where I got these from. I think Savers, for like $12, which I had to pay up for them, but they sold today on a best offer of $55. So you can kind of tell that's what you want to look out for, the CrossFit. These people go crazy for these. Some of them go for even higher, but I was super happy to pay $12 and get $55. And then again, I do have some more stuff. One more big lot to show you, and then I got some stuff. Hopefully that'll be even after that when I pick it up tomorrow. Hello guys, this is Thursday sales part 2. One thing that I didn't have room for in the last video, or last clip. This is a huge lot of video games. You can see there's all Xbox, PS3, PS2, 360. There's a whole bunch there with no cases. There's a GameCube in here. You can kind of see it's a ton of games. Condition varies. Some of them have scratches. Some of them are almost mint shape. And others are like, some of the ones in here are completely trashed. This is a huge lot that I did. You can see there's one damaged case. This thing is full. That thing's full. There's over 200 and something games here. I put them in a big lot and listed them for $300 or best offer. Most of these games are not worth a whole lot individually. Some resellers probably would have sold them for like $5 to $6 shipped, or $3 plus shipping. It wasn't worth my time. I have so much other stuff to list, so I just threw it all together kind of in frustration because it was just kind of everywhere in my garage. So threw it all together and put it up and was hoping someone would buy it. It's been up for probably about a little over a month, and someone finally came through in California and offered $275 for everything. I had it at $300. I really was hoping to just get $250. That was kind of my goal. So I took the offer. He actually bought it yesterday afternoon, and then he finally paid today. It looks like he's a video game seller himself, based on some of his. He sells a lot of like broken stuff or some refurbished stuff, but I'm guessing he just uses this account for feedback. He probably has another account that he sells a lot of games on, I'm guessing, based on what his buying history is. So all this for $275. It is a whole mess of stuff. Would I do it again? Maybe this way, but honestly, if I really was going to do it, I'd probably break it down by game system. So I'd sell a bunch of original Xbox by themselves, a bunch of 360 by themselves, a big lot of PS2. Just because, one, shipping-wise, this will be a huge box of stuff, and two, you know, I might be able to get to a collector who just wants to collect for one system. It might be better that way. Again, there's probably some stuff in here that if you wanted to, you could part out individually and make a few bucks per game. And if that's your kind of method, feel free. I mean, I'd encourage you, if you want to spend the time, or if you don't have enough stuff to list, then go ahead and list some of these games and get the $3 or $4 a piece, or, you know, 6, 7 shipped or whatever it might be. So for me, though, I'm happy to get rid of it. Hopefully there'll be no issues. Anytime you sell to like a wholesale gamer person or video game buyer, you always worry if they're going to be concerned about condition or complain at all. So he did leave one negative feedback I saw on his history on a website, that he wasn't happy with someone's discs, but he also left lots of positive feedback. So who knows what that person said. For these ones, I listed them in varying degrees of condition. I said some are playable, working fine with limited scratching. Others work with scratches, and some probably do not work because they're heavily scratched. I pulled all the discs that were really, really trashed, like broken or just looked unrepairable. and, you know, left it with this. So most of these, I'd say 60-70% of them are probably what I call good condition, and there's probably another 20% that are in the acceptable, and there's probably, you know, maybe another 10% or 15% that are whatever it ends up being that are not so good. So that's it for this part, and then tomorrow morning I should have another part with some clothes that sold and anything else that sells tonight. So hey everyone, I thought there was only going to be 3 parts to this video, but it looks like there's going to be at least 4 now. I forgot to show you guys this one with all the other stuff. There's my cat. We'll move her out of the way so doesn't get any cat hair on anything. This was also supposed to be in the first set, but I had left it off to the side. It's Xbox 360. I think it's 120 gig. Paid $25 for it with games and controllers. I sold this for $65 shipped. So really, I'll make most of my money back, or all my money back, and then make some profit, and then I can sell the controller separately. And there was, I think, some Lego games I parted out, and a Terraria game that I already sold for 10. Oh, and a Cars game in there too that I think I'll get like 15 for. So it's a good deal. I did buy these video games from my video game and Jersey guy that I buy from. He always finds stuff for me. So pay 25. By the time it's all said and done, I'll probably make 30 or 40 bucks of profit on it. So I'm happy with that. This sold for 65 shipped, and hopefully I'll have more for you with the stuff that sold tomorrow, or that I'm going to get tomorrow, and maybe even more than that. Everybody, here are the final 3 items from Thursday. 3 clothing items. It's a Wrangler Rodeo National Finals shirt. Pay like $4 from Savers. For some reason, anytime I find like Wrangler there, they mark it super cheap. And sometimes you can find some really cool Western and stuff there. A lot of the other clothes are so expensive, but every once in a while they get these. So usually it's them for like $5 or $4 plus I get my discount. So maybe even less than 4, but paid around that. Had listed at 40 or best offer, and took a best offer of 30 after maybe 2 months or so. So happy to get rid of that. Looks nice. Good sale. And then here's an Art of Eddie Rain Spooner Hawaiian shirt. It's got motorcycles. You can tell it's older based on the packaging compared to this one. This packaging's so much better. It's more firm. It keeps the item in place and just looks a lot more professional. This one though, I paid I think $4 or $5 as well. It's actually a really cool design. Honestly, I did myself a disservice because my old listings, the formatting of the pictures was not that great. And I should have gone back and redone this, and I probably could have got more, but it sold for $22 shipped, so happy about that. And this is a pretty cool sale. It's a Kansas City Chiefs by Trench crew neck, like a 90s. Nice crew neck sweatshirt. This came out of a $125 lot I bought from the storage unit guy that I buy from. Had a bunch of clothing. I already sold like an $80 Raiders jacket. A couple other clothing items. I still got a bunch more. This one sold on a full price sale of $40. If you follow football, the Chiefs are doing really well. They got a really good quarterback right now. I think they only lost like 2 games or something like that. So anytime a sports team's doing well, sometimes having their gear is pretty cool because you can take advantage of that and get pretty good pricing. So $40 for that shipped. This should go in a padded flat rate. These 2 will go in poly mailers. They should be under 1 pound. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hello everyone, these are the sales from the weekend of the 7th, 8th, and 9th of December. Did really well this weekend, I think 24 sales or something like that, and everybody's paid so far, so that's cool. One thing's missing here, it's a Tamagotchi. It sold for $35 on a best offer, but it's still in storage and it's sold late, so I'll pick it up tomorrow morning. It'll probably pop up in the back of this video. But everything else here, did really well on. Quite a bit of video game stuff, some odds and ends, some clothing stuff, bowling bag. So we'll jump right in. First though is a Woolrich. I call it like a barn coat. It's got the quilted interior. It's kind of thick. Super nice. I paid 10 or 15 at a garage sale for this, and it sold for 60 shipped. Size extra large, so nothing crazy, just kind of the run-of-the-mill when it comes to sizing, but $60. It probably took a couple months to sell, but I wasn't going to go down on it because this thing is super nice. I just knew that someone would come along with the right weather and pick it up, so happy about that. Here's some Celtics pajama pants, brand new with tag. You might notice this is ripped because I ripped off the price. The price was $17.99. I picked them up for $5 from the Jersey guy I buy it from. I didn't even know what they originally sold for. He said they were brand new, and for $5, I'm like, I'll take a chance. Maybe someone will buy them for Christmas for somebody. Then I got them from him, and I didn't look at the price. When I got home, I saw the price said $17.99, and I'm like, well, I'm not showing that. So I ripped it off, listed mine for $20 shipped, and they sold. So I actually sold them for higher than I guess they were at the time in the store. They're kind of like a real soft pajama pants, so size adult, large or extra large, or medium, adult medium, I guess. Not even that great of a size, but 5 into 20 shipped. That's pretty cool. This is a Star Wars sleeping bag. The zipper's, it's present, but it's not actually connected, so it won't zip up. But it's got a really cool graphic on it. I paid $5. I listed it in kind of acceptable condition with the zipper issues, and it sold for $50 shipped. It was very clearly marked that the zipper was not working. You know, could be used as a blanket. I said there were some stains on it, but someone did pick it up. Again, it's got pretty cool graphics on it. The best sale of the weekend, price-wise, probably the coolest too, is the NASA Space Camp adult, I think it's extra large, space camp suit. You can see there's some patches everywhere. It does have stains. Probably can't see any from here. This is the adult version. I paid $25 at my local Goodwill for this, which I had to pay up for it. They knew they had something there, and they were right. If you look on the comps, though, it's a little bit crazy. Some were selling for like 30 or 40 shipped. On auction, you know, some were going for 70 shipped, buy it now, and I'm like, most of those were kids ones, and the only adult ones were really, I think, sold mostly auction style, and people weren't getting that much from, but every once in a while you'd find a listing that someone got like 80 or 90 for it. So I paid $25 for mine, thinking it's really cool. I'd love to have it, you know, just to have in the store for now anyways. And I listed it for $130 or best offer. I'm thinking, hey, if someone will come through at $100, maybe for a Christmas gift or something, I'll take it. 25 into 100, I'm cool with that. Someone actually just this weekend paid full price, $130. So that was awesome. So sometimes if you have something unique, you know, whether there's not much in your size or there's just not a lot of competition, don't be afraid to list a little bit high and even put a best offer on there. Sometimes you might get lucky and pull some pretty good money. So $130 shipped on that. It's pretty cool. Here's the Chargers by Nutmeg. San Diego Chargers, 94 AFC champs. I love vintage sports stuff. It's not all super valuable or even doesn't even sell the quickliest sometimes, but the quickest, I guess, not quickliest. But this is from 94. The Chargers are actually playing really well right now if you follow sports. They won today, I think, as well. So I picked this up for $4 or $5, and it sold for a best offer of $30. So pretty cool. And lastly, clothing-wise, is a Reebok. This is a 6XL, if you can see that. Big Reebok golf shirt. I do really well on Reebok golf polos. On the bigger sizes, like 4XL and larger. I probably sold 3 4XLs by now, and this is my first 6XL. So if you do find them and they're that price, well, priced, I mean reasonably, I got $25 shipped for that. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. I bought in a lot of stuff, so maybe $5 or less for it. So that was awesome. But yeah, the Reebok Golf extra larges don't do so well, but if they're the 4XLs and up, you can do pretty good. Here's a tennis racket. I don't really buy them that much, and honestly, I probably know just as much or less than any of you do when it comes to them. This is a Jabathon. I hadn't heard of it before. Picked it up. It looked pretty cool. Maybe I can unzip it, but realistically, I probably can't, but we'll see. There we go. I always should do this beforehand instead of in the middle of the video, so it's all awkward. Hold on. So it's just a typical, nothing special, just graphite tennis racket. I paid $5 for this at Goodwill. Again, I don't know a whole lot about it. Just looked it up and saw some of them comped out okay. At the time, I thought, sorry about the crazy cam work too. I thought I was going to be getting into tennis rackets. I thought I knew a little bit. Realized quickly I know a lot less, and the demand wasn't really there for all of them. I'm actually down to just one more tennis racket left, but that one I paid $5 or $6 for, and I sold it for $35 shipped. So still good money. It'll probably cost like $10 to ship it. They're actually fairly light. Just kind of, you have to have an interesting box for them, but that's pretty cool. I'll still probably pick up tennis rackets, but really I wish I knew a little bit more so I could identify the best ones. If anyone has a video out there about it, definitely shoot me a link to it in the comments so I can check it out. This is a bowling bag. I think the brand's Don Carter. Don Carter. Look out for these if you don't mind holding on to them for a long time. I paid like $3 for this. It sold for $45 shipped today. I've probably had it for 6 to 9 months, which is quite a while. But it sold for $45 shipped. Mine was a good color one, whatever this like purplish pinkish color is. I think these ones do the better ones. There's some like kind of more bland colors that don't do as well, but if you can find this one, it does sell. It just takes time. So $45 shipped on that. Over here, an iPhone 8 Plus 256 gig or 256 gig box. It's the gold one. This I paid $1 for. It sold for like 12 shipped or something like that. Here's a Magic Treehouse book set, books 1 through 4. It is brand new sealed. I paid $2.99 for it at a Salvation Army, and that sold for 16 shipped. Here's more of that CB stuff, the last piece I actually have. This came out of a $40 lot, and this sold for 20 shipped by itself. This is a cool buy, a Harley Davidson patch. Came out of a big lot I bought from the storage unit guy. It's got some wear on the back, but this sold for 30 shipped. Probably could have got more, honestly. These are pretty unique, but I'll take $30 on that. And then to the video game stuff, which has been selling really well for me lately. Here's a really junky Game Boy Advance SP case. You can kind of see the whites come off there. This sold for 10 shipped still, so that was cool. Zelda Wind Waker sold for 28 shipped for the GameCube. Mega Man sold for 10 shipped. Zelda sold for 22 shipped. Diddy Kong sold for 16 shipped. NBA Jam Tournament Edition with some wear and some discoloration sold for 11 shipped. Princess Peach DS sold for 18. This is Dark Cloud. Again, why do I do this to myself? This is Dark Cloud 2. Just a disc only. PS2 game, it does pretty well. Sold that for 14 shipped. These are SingStar remotes. There's 4 of them, or remotes, microphones. They don't really do that well. They're for the PS2. They sold for 22 shipped. I don't even think I paid anything for them. I think they came in a lot of stuff that I bought, so I just sold them. Nintendo 64 controller sold for 22 shipped, I think, for this blue one. The colored ones usually do better, or like the clear and colored ones. The standard gray one doesn't do as well, I think, but you can get a little more for the color ones. And then a 64 with a gray controller, all the cables, no games. That sold for 65 shipped. So that should be everything. Hope you guys enjoy. If any, there probably will be a Tamagotchi still coming up, but if nothing else sells, then that'll be it. Take care. Hey everyone, here's the final sale from the weekend. It's that Tamagotchi connection. This one is from 2004. You probably can't really see it, but maybe you can. 2004. Look out for these. There are newer ones that don't do as well, but the ones from the early 2000s do pretty well. This one went for 35 shipped on the best